Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Archie's Briefings. I'm your host, Arshel Branch, and today, you guys, we are going to talk about an America First economy between the 90-day pause on the tariffs, what's going on with the stock market, the tax cut budget passed by the Senate. I mean, just amazing. I'm very excited to talk about this, you guys. It has just been an incredible day. Stock market was looking really good. It's just worth talking about. But now, before we go ahead and do that, if you are new to the channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that way you never miss an episode. If you guys would also like to support the show, you can cash at me at #RShellBranch. The link is in the YouTube description. Just scroll up, hit the link, and you can support that way as well. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's talk about this America First economy, Trump economy. I don't know what you want to call it, but it is just a beautiful sight to see. I mean, muy bien, muy bien. Just fantastic. Let's go ahead and let's talk about that, shall we?
There is something that has been on my heart that I did want to discuss. Discipline is a huge part of being productive, being lucrative. I'm not for anything that goes against true productivity, true sovereignty of the individual. The choices that we make are what's going to be up for judgment.
All right, you guys. So as I said in the open, we're going to talk about these amazing numbers that we've been looking at between the 90-day pause, what's going on with the stock market. I mean, the tax cuts, what's going on with the Senate, all of that has to be talked about today. I'll try to keep it as short as possible because there's a lot of information. I just kind of want to bring context to this, but very excited. Like, this is what we were talking about as America First, right? Everything was linked to the economy. Okay. Everything from the energy to small business to jobs, wage growth, the problems with inflation, everything that you saw problematic under the Joe Biden administration, right? Everything all wrapped into one. And this is why MAGA won so beautifully in the last election, because it is all connected. And we all understood this as conservatives, right? It was all made clear. And of course, when Trump comes out with the Liberation Day tariffs, all the mainstream media loses their minds. All the Democrats loses their minds. They're saying that, they would rather see other countries do better than their own people, than their own constituents. If you're in government, than their own fellow countrymen. If you're someone in the media, I mean, they lost their minds over this. You're trying to create the budget. You have to cut the wasteful spending, add to your savings, invest, bring down your debt to get out of debt. In order to do that, you got to increase your revenue. Okay. So yeah, you got some money coming in, but you have to go out there and get more money. Okay. To pay off your debt, to add to your savings, to be able to invest into your futures, you're going to have to increase your income. That's the idea. And President Trump is moving in this direction. Now let's talk about the tariffs. Because as I said in several other videos, I'm a little sick and tired of America being treated like the abused wife. It's about damn time that we were the ones that were holding all the power, that we were the ones that were making money. And I'm ready to use that leverage. We are the greatest consumers on the face of the earth. And President Trump is utilizing that leverage so that way we can do something about our economy. That is fantastic. That's fantastic. And I don't think that we're crazy because we want to be able to run around here like I'm the one with the money.
Bitch, I got money, bitch. I got money, bitch.
So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is the Fox Business clip with Charles Payne and I believe it's the Secretary of Treasury, Navarro. And that's the conversation we're going to focus on right now, just to talk about what's going on with the 90-day pause. So that's the first thing I'm going to show you guys. So before I run it, let me just be clear. Again, the stock market was green today because of this very decision. Let's talk about the reason for the 90-day pause. The left came out when the tariffs first dropped saying that this is going to be a bad thing. Now with the pause, they're saying he doesn't know what he's doing, that this has never been about making money. Of course it is. That he doesn't know what he's doing as it relates to the pause. It doesn't make any sense. No one knows what his next step is going to be. This president is entirely unpredictable, which is why we like him as conservatives. He is unpredictable. And the whole point of imposing the discounted reciprocal tariffs was to force these countries to the table. Now, 40% of them have come to the table to negotiate. Now, I don't got to say anything more because I think Navarro says everything. So let's go ahead and let's run that clip for you guys, shall we? Okay, guys, so this is the clip here. At the top, it says, going to be the biggest boom. Trade counselor Navarro weighs in on the tariff bombshell. Now, before I let the video play, I just want to read the truth that Trump put out because it was phenomenal and was fantastic. And this is what the market reacted to. Okay, so based on the lack of respect that China has shown to the world's markets, I am hereby raising the tariff charged to China by the United States of America to 125% is what I believe that says, effective immediately. At some point, hopefully in the near future, China will realize that the days of ripping off the USA and other countries is no longer sustainable or acceptable. Love it. Conversely, and based on the fact that more than 75 countries have called representatives of the U.S., including the Departments of Commerce, Treasury, and the USTR, to negotiate a solution to the subjects being discussed relative to trade barriers, tariffs, etc., Let me just fast forward to the end here. I have authorized a 90-day pause and substantially lowered reciprocal tariff during this period, a 10%, also effective immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Absolutely love this. You guys, this happened today. And just love everything about this. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to push play on this, shall we?
Peter Navarro. Peter, okay, so we've got 90-day pause. We've got the post from Truth Social behind me, essentially
Look at that
isolating China.
Happy.
The tariffs are going to go higher, but you've got a 90-day pause. We just heard from Scott Bessent. 75-plus countries are trying to negotiate. Walk us through how this decision was made.
Charles, this is one of the greatest days in American economic history we have had. I think we're going to call it the art of the reciprocal trade deal. And I'll tell you, all the nervous Nellies on Wall Street who try to undermine us consistently underestimate the power of the president to negotiate. What have we got here? We are at a place now where we have a broad-based 10% global tariff on. Well, we negotiate over the next 90 days with all of these countries who have come to us.
Yep.
And the mission, Charles, in these negotiations is to dramatically reduce our trade deficit, level the playing field, get rid of all the...
Okay, so obviously I don't want to spend too much time on the video because I do want to talk about the tax cuts. Okay, now here's the thing. So you can see here, everything in the green. Everything in the green. This announcement comes out and everything is in the green. So I don't want to hear that we have something to worry about. Of course, the Democrats don't like this, right? Because it shows he knows what he's doing, right? Yeah, they can get caught up with the signal nonsense, the signal messaging. Yeah, no, what you're trying to do is distract the American people from an economic plan that actually works. Clearly, it's doing its job. First, the tariffs come out. This is going to be terrible for the stock market, terrible for the stock market. Okay, we get to today, and this is what it is. Oh, he's going to be so confused. We don't know what his next step is. He doesn't know what he's doing because now it's a 90-day pause. Is this permanent? We don't actually know. A 90-day pause, giving them the opportunity to create tailor-made deals for individual nations. Broad-based 10% as we negotiate over the course of 90 days. 75 countries come to the table, and this is the whole point. Some in the comments I've seen all over YouTube have been saying, stay the course, Trump, keep the tariffs, keep the tariffs. Of course he's going to keep tariffs. This isn't about getting rid of tariffs altogether. This is about finding a percentage that works best for us and for them. Like I said, they can charge us 0, but we are going to charge them. He is not okay with the 0%. If anything, I think that's why the EU wants to respond in a retaliatory way. However, they did come to the table and to negotiate, and so we should see how that moves forward. At the end of the day, this is what the 90 pause does. This is what putting tariffs on China does. This is what happens when you let the president do his job and get out of his way, Representative Luna, Senator Collins, Rand Paul, and a lot of you, okay? This is what happens. Everything in the green, okay? People excited. Every time President Trump speaks about the tariffs in a positive way, the market goes up. And this is a very good thing. I'm going to come out of this. Navarro did great, and it does deserve a round of applause. Fantastic. Okay, coming out of this now, you guys. Okay, guys, so you saw that. You heard that. You saw what happened with Navarro, what he was telling Charles Payne, that the tariffs are going to lead to something incredible, that this is an economic moment in history for the American people. This is a big deal, and it's not something that we should take lightly. It's like, right, of course. Because the fact that everything is in agreement with the stock market, that it's a broad-based 10% on the tariffs until we can have tailor-made deals for each individual nation, this is going to be a really good thing. The stock market seems to react very well when Trump speaks positively about the tariffs. So what does that tell you? First of all, maybe the mainstream media should stop trying to sow fear, okay? And frankly, I think it's because they themselves have so much fear that Trump is actually going to prove that America First economic policies work. And I don't think they like that. And that don't make you the good guy if you're someone who is in favor of overtaxing the citizens, okay, and not trying to have fair trade among with the rest of the world. Like, that don't make you the good guy here.
I'm the bad guy.
And so, you guys, there are a few things I want to show you as it relates to the tax situation, okay? So, obviously, we know the senators have just passed a budget bill that does include the tax cuts of no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. I'm not entirely sure if it does include the no taxing under $150,000. I'm not entirely sure. We have to check that out. But it does include no tips, no Social Security, and no tax on overtime. That's what this is. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of things. First thing I want to show you guys is one of the comments that I've seen scrolling through YouTube, one of the YouTube posts. And it was fascinating to me just how eager people are to destroy our economy, really because they don't understand it. So let's go ahead and let me pull up that comment for you guys. Okay, let's do that next. Okay, guys, so this is the comment that I saw on YouTube, on a YouTube post, and it was just unbelievable to me. So this is what it says. I know it's small, but I hope you guys can read along with it. This is what it says. We need to raise the top marginal tax rate to about 90%, the same rate that existed when the middle class was healthy. The only economic result from dropping it has been ever increasing wage inequality. Greed is real, and we need our tax policy to reflect that reality. Now, I can understand why they're saying that, the middle class has obviously suffered, but I don't think that they understand that by increasing to 90% doesn't actually help anybody. Now, there was someone who responded to this comment, and I thought it was a beautiful response. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to pull it up for you guys. Let's do that next. Okay, guys. So this was the gentleman, the Daily Discourse with Arturo. He was the one that brought up that comment, which I thought was ridiculous. And his response I thought was fantastic. These people are insane. Word. Indubitably. 90% tax rate. Imagine the people who are just trying to start a small business and don't have tax experts at their side to help them pay the smallest amount in taxes like the extremely rich do. Instead of raising tax rates, they would be better off looking into those loopholes where you write a bunch of stuff off. Or, in my opinion, they should leave it as is. Remove income tax for people under $150,000 a year. Right. Make a flat tax rate of 12% across the board for anyone making more than $150,000 a year, and then stop spending an insane amount of our tax dollars on useless garbage no one needs or wants. I'm going to leave it there because I think that pretty much is the whole thing, right? The tax policy, the tax cuts that President Trump is bringing forward, is not just going to benefit the top 1%, that even Jasmine Crockett herself could not even say with a straight face that only the top 1% benefited from his tax cuts from 2017. So if she can't even say that, then why do you think that increasing taxes 90% to 90% is going to be a good thing? That when you actually relieve some of the tax pressure on the businesses, this increases wages, this increases opportunity for businesses to hire more people, increase their operations, and this brings down costs dramatically for the consumer. It's good for the business, good for the employee, good for the consumer. This is how this is supposed to work. So how are we supposed to actually afford these tax cuts? How is the government going to be funded if you have all of these tax cuts? That is the point of the tariffs. I'm going to come out of this, you guys. I mean, for the longest time, the American people have been saying that they are outraged. They're sick and tired of being overtaxed, of not being able to get a leg up, not being able to get ahead simply because the economy was going crazy. The dollar value was going down dramatically. Taxes were always going up. Products are getting more expensive. The cost of living is getting more expensive. And all this had to be done was unleash the private sector, unleash our energy, stop being taken advantage of by other countries, and stop putting so much burden on the American people. These are not crazy ideas. These are not phenomenons. It's not brand new, okay? They're centuries years old, actually, if you would think, from the tariffs to not overtaxing or taxing at all of the American people. Not brand new ideas, not a phenomenon. This is just something that needed to be the case. Now, I'm just at the point where when good things happen, you gotta celebrate. You gotta celebrate. The stock market is in the green. The left is still losing their minds, which is ridiculous. I mean, my goodness. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to show you guys this last clip. I'm going to show you guys. Chuck Schumer saying that the senators who passed the budget bill, where this includes the tax cuts of no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security or overtime, he says this is a betrayal, he says. Oh, a betrayal of the American people. I mean, oh my goodness, clutching my pearls, my heart, how he's just, it's hilarious. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna run that one next. Okay, let's go ahead and let's do that, shall we? Okay, guys, so this is the clip I'm gonna show you about Chuck Schumer. You haven't seen it, but I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna play it now because it's like, yo, this is just hilarious.
Donald Trump has betrayed the American people. Tonight, Senate Republicans joined him in that betrayal. In voting for this bill, Senate Republicans sided with billionaires against the middle class in total obeisance to Donald Trump. Okay, let's just leave it there for a second. A betrayal of the middle class. Who do you think? Not even just the middle class, right? Middle class, lower class. You're talking about the bottom of the middle, lower class. You know, when you're the bartender, you like the idea of your tips not being taxed, especially if you work for the establishment where you don't even get 100% of your tips, right? You might get 70% of that.
And so if you walk away with 70% of your tips, it'd be nice to not have it taxed. That's the first thing. Overtime not being taxed. Like, did you honestly think that your constituents were going to look at the numbers here? Like, do you really think that people living in New York, okay, who work and get tips as the bartender, as the ticket seller for Broadway shows, they get tips, okay? They would like for that to not be taxed, as well as those who work overtime. I know quite a few people who work overtime in manufacturing jobs, or at least ironwork, I should say, more likely. They work ironwork, they take on overtime, working even the, fry cook, trying to get extra hours, picking up extra shifts, knowing that that won't be taxed either. This doesn't help the billionaires as much as it helps middle class and lower class individuals who work low earning to, I wouldn't say high earning jobs, but low earning to high earning jobs. This is beneficial for the middle class.
The odds of a recession in America are surging because of Donald Trump's tariffs, and Senate Republicans have gone along.
Everything in the green.
In fact, they are aiding and abetting it. It's a brutal Republican pincer move. Donald Trump's raised costs on the one side, and Senate Republicans are cutting Medicaid and pushing billionaire tax breaks on the other.
Okay.
Tonight,
I've had enough. I'm going to come out of this, you guys. I've had enough, but I think you guys get the picture. I'm going to send this up, you guys. So you saw that. You saw his reaction to this bill. Oh, it's going to be it's a betrayal for the American people. This doesn't help the middle class, that they want to cut Medicaid. That's not true. We obviously know that that's not true. Okay, that they want to help with the billionaires, help billionaires all the way, as if the tax cuts from 2017 didn't help small businesses and employees. This is just an extension of that, without the nonsense of Paul Ryan, I might add. Okay, this is going to be monumental. He knows it, and I don't know at what point, what time that actually got passed, but everything is in the green. Okay, when you saw on that Fox Business clip, that was all from this morning, all from today. Okay, everything is in the green. When Trump speaks positively about the tariffs, the market goes up. Now, it doesn't mean that the market knows exactly what his next move is going to be. He's unpredictable. We know this. Okay, we know. And the market is going to fluctuate, which is up to the individual and the financial managers, okay, to hedge against the uncertainty. That is their job. If you're doing it yourself, you're going to have to protect your investment. You have to learn how to do those things. Check out 76 Researchers, just a plug for Trish Reagan, free plug-in, because I think that's a fantastic platform. It'll teach you how to do that. Go out and learn how to do that yourself, okay? The American people are fed up. We're sick and tired of being taken advantage of, becoming the people who get used and abused by allied nations, adversary nations, and by our own representatives. You put your own political interests, okay, above us. This is not a betrayal. Look at the numbers. Where were you on no taxing on overtime, or no taxing on tips, or not taxing Social Security? You want to help your constituents? How about you advocate for your states to eliminate the state income tax? All in all, you guys, I just love this. I love what's going on. The tariffs are going to pay for the tax cuts. We're negotiating with other countries to make sure that the economy is doing well. And I don't care that they are losing their minds. We've been fed up and we were sick and tired of it.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
Everything seems to be going well with this, you guys. I just love everything about this. From the moment the man got in there, what have we seen happen? There's been discovery of the waste, so we can do something about it. That there has been negotiation as it relates to the tariffs, because now countries are coming to the table so we can actually do something about domestic production. There's debate as to how far tax cuts and tariffs should go. This is not a civil war between the Republicans. We're actually debating as to what's best for us. Like, what's actually better for us? Is it to go this far? Maybe not that far. How can we keep our friends, or do we even care about them? It's a beautiful sight to see. If this is the problem that we have, choosing between whether or not we go further in defending our situation, or if we can defend our situation without doing too much harm to our allies, I think that's a good position to be in, because since World War II, that has not been the situation. You guys get in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. I love everything about this. The tariffs, the tax cuts. The Senate just passed the bill. It's going back to the House. The debate is going forward. Trump's got the 75 countries negotiating, and it's fantastic. It's fantastic. And side note, I'm for the tariffs on China, because Forever 21, I'm mad about that. Get in the comments. Love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Love you. God bless, and Kepler.